if you and your friends decide to go somewhere, but you don't know where, and you want to make it so that more of you are happy. So you decide to ask, where do you want to go? And your city has only three options. You can either go to a zoo, or you can go to an amusement park. Amusement parks with those roller coasters and other kinds of scary rides. And maybe the third option is to go to a museum. And so you go ask your friend one, hey, where do you want to go? And he says, I think I want to go to the zoo. So you write that down, and then you go down and then you ask the second friend, whose name happens to be 2, and you ask them, where do they want to go? And they say that, oh, I want to go to the amusement park. To the amusement park. And you say, okay, and then you go to friend number 3, and then they also say amusement park. They just like to copy whatever friend number 2 says. So you write that down, amusement park. Then you go to friend number 4, and then you ask them, where do you want to go? And then they say, you know what, I don't care. And you don't know what to do because you had 3 options, but now you have like somebody who says, I don't care. So you just write that down. You say, okay, I don't care. We always have friends who say this. I don't care. And then you go on and you have maybe 10 or 11 friends. So you just write it down for all of them. Now, once you did this, you look at this and you know that you want to decide something. You want to decide where to go. And maybe you want to decide that based on what most number of people like. What's popular. So you ask your friends these questions and you collect their answers. What you've just done here is what we call collect data. So you've just now collected data. And what decision do you want to make? You want to make a decision about where to go. So you think, okay, is this the right way to look at this data? I want to know how many people said zoo, and maybe I can look at it. Okay, first person, friend 1 said zoo, friend 5 said zoo. But actually I don't care who said zoo. I just want to know how many people wanted to go to the zoo. How many people wanted to go to the amusement park. So then I decide, okay, maybe then I can write down zoo over here and then count the number of people who said it. The number of times zoo occurs. And then I go down, okay, it occurs once. Then it occurs once more over here. Twice. So I know that I've covered these 2. Then I look more and there aren't any more. Then I decide, okay, I want to calculate or I want to find out how many people said amusement park. So I write down amusement park and then I go and count. 1 person said it here. 1 more said it over here. 1 more here and 1 more here. So I have my amusement park over here. Then I go, okay, there's museum. And let me just write museum. And in this case, there's 1 person who wants to go to the museum. And now we also have this new thing that I did not predict, but it's there, so I should count it. So the number of people who said IDC, which is basically a short form for I don't care. And that's 1 and 1 more. And maybe if the number of people who said I don't care was the maximum, then we can just go wherever we want to. So when I look at it this way, then I feel like this is a much easier way to take my decision. I look at this here, not so easy. So then I decide, okay, let me make it more beautiful. I maybe just draw a box around it. And now it looks pretty. And it's also easier to read. So now what I'm doing here is taking the data that I collected, the facts that I collected, and organizing it so that it's easier to read. And now what I can do is I can start what's called interpreting it, which just basically means using it to come to some decision or look at what's going on over here. So with an example, it'll become more clear. In one of the things that I can interpret, sounds like a serious word from this, is that, hey, most number of people want to go to an amusement park. Amusement park is most popular. Most popular. Or maybe I can say that the same number of people who don't care also don't want to go to the zoo. That number is 2. We can keep doing this, but it all depends on what decision we want to take. In this case, I just want to take a decision as to where to go. And that looks pretty clear. The amusement park seems to be the winner over here. So if I have to name this now, what I did here is what we call collect data. You go around asking people, that's one way to collect data. There are many other ways. Then what you do here is called organize data. Organize what you have just collected, which is just another word for putting it all together in a way that's easy to read. And how you organize data depends on what decisions you want to make. In this case, you wanted to decide where to go, so you organized it in this table. You can do it in many other ways. And finally, what you do here, which is take some decision or find out what it means. Take some meaning, make some meaning out of it. That's what we call interpret. interpret the data. So these are just names that you now know what they stand for. And throughout, as you start learning more about data, you'll start coming up with ways to organize data. And everything you learn, like you might learn words called pictographs, which very soon, and then you'll also learn things called bar graphs, and maybe pie charts. Pie charts is just a circular kind of way to visualize or organize data. Pie charts, and many more. And all of these are just ways to organize data so that you can interpret it for your purpose there. So depending on your purpose and what decision you want to take, you will organize your data into maybe pictographs, bar graphs, pie charts, or however it is that you want to visualize it, as long as it is useful.